Well, another driving video for Hot Fudge Sunday today. Kind of killing two birds with one stone. I think I could probably come up with a very clever, creative reason as to why we're doing it this way. But I don't have one, so I'll just be honest and say that I was getting ready to leave the church and I realized I hadn't done it. I updated the website, I got the bulletin ready for next week, and did all that, but forgot to do my Hot Fudge Sunday. And so I said, well, I'm packed up and I'm heading on out, so I might as well just kill two birds with one stone and go ahead and video my Hot Fudge Sunday for today while I'm driving down the road heading home. That's what I'm doing. So before I get into today, I just kind of want to share a little bit of, some frustration that I have at least. As some of you know, we are in the process of selling the building and getting ready to relocate. We don't have a buyer for the building yet, so we're kind of in that in-between time where we're living with a building for sale, a new vision, a new mission, a new direction, but yet the same old building and the same old financial woes that we've always had. And there are some wonderful people that are attending the church now that are doing their best to try to invite people to come and bringing people. And some people are being successful with bringing people to church. The problem is that we don't get return visits, and there are probably many reasons for that. Some that reflect upon us, some that reflect upon the people who are visiting the church. But I know for sure that one of the things that is causing people to not return to our church is our location. The neighborhood where the church is has gone downhill in the years since the church has been built. Well, the church has been there since 1941, so it's changed a lot since since the church was built. But today was a perfect example, and I went a roundabout way. I went to North Dakota to kind of tell this story, but today was a perfect example. So it's about 9:45, 9:50, so about 15 minutes before worship is starting. And we have a building that's got a huge for sale sign on the outside of it in a neighborhood that's not that great. And right outside of our church is a bust going on. So there's two police officers, two squad cars with their lights on, and they're arresting people right on the street, right in front of the church. And one of the ladies that comes to our church joked as she walked in, and it's kind of one of those things. It's a joke, but yet it's not a joke. But yet you have to, like the theologian Jimmy Buffett once said, if we couldn't laugh, we'd all go insane. That's what we were doing. She said, well, I invited some people to come to church today, and they were going to come until they found out where the church was. And when I said it was on when I said the street that it was on, they kind of went, ooh, well, she said, I'm kind of glad they didn't come today, because they would have pulled up to a church that right outside some kind of bust was going on with two squad cars and the lights going and people getting arrested right out in front of the church. And it's just one of those things you go, come on, Lord, give us a break here. Whoa, I lost you. Woo, that was a little bit of a turn there and I missed you. Give us a break here. Let's try to create some kind of environment where we can get people to come and to stay. But that's a whole nother subject. That's just my little frustration for the day, so about that. And it's interesting because it kind of relates to what we talked about today. And we talked about the fact that island number 3 on the journey to be is the salvation island. It's the born again island. It's the Jesus moment island. It is the island where we come to terms with that we make the choice to commit our life and our will to the care and control of Jesus. And it's the island where we really decide to say yes to Jesus. And in that, we come to this realization that life is so much more than what we see and what we taste and what we touch and what we smell, the worldly things. In fact, I use Janis Joplin in my prayer at the end of my message today because of the fact that I was just thinking about that, about, oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? We focus so much on the world, on the neighborhood, on the culture, on the climate, that really when he gets right down to it, that's not what God's all about. God's about that personal relationship with us. And we need to be about that personal relationship with him and not worry about, the drug bust going down right in front of the church right before worship starts, or not worry about the neighborhood, not worry about things like that. Now, of course, we have to pay attention to it, but not to have it be so frustrating or overwhelming or so consuming that it takes up everything. And I guess for me personally, that's the last lesson for today. We talked about that notion of God caring about us and wanting to have that right relationship with us, wanting us to be fit for him, to be made right for him, and how Jesus is the only way that truly can happen. Sin has separated us from God, and the only way that we can bridge that gap is to take a hold of Jesus' hand and follow him. And so that's what we talked about today, that notion of giving our life to Christ. And next week we're going to be talking about getting real, being real and surrendering our secrets and taking off our masks. I'm looking forward to that one. That's always a fun island to spend some time on. After we give our lives to Christ and we accept the salvation, then it's time for us to turn that really powerful spotlight around on us and figure out what we're going to do with that now and figure out how we're going to live like that now. And that's what we're going to be talking about next week. So I guess that's enough of my rambling for today. I hope that this week has a great you, and we'll see you next week for Fudge Sunday.